You look up at the night sky. It is quiet. It is peaceful. You see thousands of tiny twinkling lights, and for a second, you feel a gentle sense of wonder. You think, there must be someone else out there. It's a comforting thought. Now, throw that thought away, because mathematically, the universe shouldn't be a quiet cosmic playground. It should be a roaring, crowded, chaotic metropolis. And the fact that you hear nothing, absolute silence, is not a coincidence. It is a warning. That quiet sky isn't empty. It is terrified. Let's look at the cold, hard numbers. In 1961, an astrophysicist named Dr. Frank Drake sat down at the National Radio Astronomy Observatory in Green Bank, West Virginia. He wrote down a simple formula. We call it the Drake equation. He wasn't guessing blindly. He calculated the rate of star formation, the fraction of those stars with planets, and the odds of life actually evolving. The result? Even by the most conservative, overly cautious estimates, our galaxy, just the Milky Way alone, should be home to at least 10,000 advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. 10,000. Our galaxy is 13.8 billion years old. Earth is relatively late to the party. If a civilization had just a 1 million year head start on us, which is a blink of an eye in cosmic time, they would have had more than enough time to build interstellar ships, colonize entire solar systems, and fill the airwaves with signals. They should be everywhere. Their radio TV broadcasts, their energy grids, their ships. In 1950, the famous physicist Enrico Fermi was walking to lunch with his colleagues at the Los Alamos National Laboratory. They were discussing reports of UFO sightings and the sheer probability of alien life. Fermi stopped in his tracks, looked at his fellow scientists, and asked a simple question that broke the entire scientific community. Where is everybody? That is the Fermi Paradox. And for decades, scientists brushed it off. They said, space is just too big. We haven't looked hard enough. Our technology is too primitive. We told ourselves that we were just early, that we were searching for a needle in a cosmic haystack. We built massive radio telescopes. In 1977, the Big Ear Telescope in Ohio picked up the famous WOW signal, a 72-second blast of radio noise from deep space that fit every marker of an artificial transmission. Scientists cheered. We thought, this is it. The door is opening. We listened again. We aimed our best equipment at that exact same spot in the constellation Sagittarius for years. Nothing. Silence. And then, astrophysicists stopped asking where the aliens are and started asking a much more disturbing question. What happened to them? Now let me pause here, because for a long time, humanity assumed the worst-case scenario was that we are completely alone, that life is a freak, one-time accident, and when we look at the stars, we are staring into an empty room. But that is not the terrifying answer. The terrifying answer is that we are not alone, and that life evolves all the time. Enter the dark forest theory. In 2008, researcher and theoretical author Cixin Liu popularized a concept that changed how astrophysicists look at cosmic sociology. Imagine walking through a dense, pitch-black forest at night. You cannot see 2 feet in front of you. You know that in this forest, there are predators, armed hunters, wild beasts, unknown dangers. You carry a flashlight and a gun. What do? Do you turn on your flashlight, wave it around, and scream into the dark? Hello, I am here. Does anyone want to be friends? Of course you don't, because in a dark forest, survival dictates a single, unbreakable rule. Silence is life. Exposure is death. If you turn on your light, another hunter, who doesn't know if you are friendly or hostile, will not risk waiting to find out. In a game of ultimate survival, where the stakes are the complete destruction of your species, the only logical, rational move is to strike first, to eliminate the threat before it can eliminate you. Now, Let's scale that up to the universe. In space, light years separate civilizations. Communication takes decades, centuries, millennia. You can never truly know the intentions of an alien civilization. You can't negotiate. You can't sign a treaty. You don't know if their culture will change in 100 years and decide to eradicate you. So every civilization arrives at the exact same mathematical conclusion. Hide. Stay dark. Do not broadcast your position. And if an emerging species is foolish enough to start screaming into the void, the predators in the forest will hear it. Think about what we have done. For the last 100 years, humanity has been shouting at the top of its lungs. Ever since the invention of radio and television, we have been leaking electromagnetic radiation into deep space, an expanding bubble of light and noise, carrying our music, our news, our location, radiating outward at 300,000 kilometers per second. In 1974, we didn't just leak noise. We sent a deliberate, high-powered message from the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico directly toward the globular star cluster M13. We sent our DNA structure, our mathematics, and a map showing exactly where our planet is located in the solar system. We placed golden records on the Voyager spacecraft, carrying greetings in 55 human languages, the sound of rain, the heartbeat of a mother, and precise coordinates to our home. We did it out of innocence. We did it like a toddler wandering out into a dark, unknown alley, calling out for a playmate. We assumed that any intelligence capable of traveling through the stars would have outgrown violence. We assumed they would be wise, peaceful, and eager to teach us. We projected our own desperate desire for connection onto a cold, uncaring cosmos. We wanted so badly not to be lonely. And while we are sitting here, arguing over borders, staring at our phone screens, and living our daily lives, that signal, our cosmic address, is traveling further and further into the dark, passing silent, dead systems, passing civilizations that learned millions of years ago to shut down their transmitters and bury their technology beneath the soil. They hear us, and they are keeping their mouths shut, watching the human race wave a burning torch in the middle of a dark forest. Now, bring your gaze back down to Earth. Sometimes, the silence of the universe feels heavy. It can make you feel utterly insignificant. A tiny, fragile stick figure standing on a pale blue dot, floating in an endless, quiet void. You spend your days worrying about tomorrow's meetings, unpaid bills, small arguments, and the endless noise of human society. We fight over pieces of dirt on a rock that is entirely unprotected in a terrifyingly quiet neighborhood. Maybe the silence isn't a curse. Maybe it's a gift. Maybe the great filter is still ahead of us. Or maybe we are simply in the quiet grace period before someone notices our torch. We don't know how much time we have before the dark forest answers back. We don't know if tomorrow we will wake up to an empty sky, or a sky that suddenly responds. So tonight, if you step outside and look up at those twinkling stars, don't just look for answers out there. Look at the person standing next to you. Look at the life you have on this fragile, warm, loud little rock. Because right now, in this exact second, Earth is the only place in the entire known universe where a voice can speak and a friend can actually hear it. Appreciate the noise while it lasts, because the dark forest is listening.